Hello and welcome to Education and More's Learn Python 3 Programming at a Snail's Pace. My name is Marcus Gardner and I'm the instructor for this course. In today's video we're going to talk about the while loop and try and except. Now, earlier we talked about taking in some input and ignoring the fact that there could be errors. But now we're actually at a point where we can do something with those errors. And we can do something with those errors with the while. So I'm going to teach you how to trap those errors today. Now, there are more advanced ways to do it with the try except. I'm just going to use the very basic try and except, and then later on we can worry about getting the specific except errors. Okay, but anyway, let's get started. The while loop is set up like this. You have your while statement, and then you have something is true. And then you have your colon. And then while it's true, you do this, do that, do whatever. Okay? And then you keep going until your condition is false. And then it stops. Okay? All right. So let's get an example of this. Okay. Let's bring up the code here. File new. File save as. Python 7, or lesson 7 rather. Lesson 7. And then P, and then down 6, Python file. Hit save. Okay. So, how about exponentiation? Okay. So let's say n equals 5. And then while n is greater than 1, let's do something. Okay? So total, we need a total up here. We're going to say total is equal to 1. Now, the reason why I say 1 instead of 0 is because multiplication doesn't work very well with 0. I mean, you can do it, but it's not going to work in this situation. So, total equals total times n. And then, okay. Now we're going to say n equals n minus 1. We're going to decrease n by 1. Okay? And then we're going to say print 5 factorial is total. Okay? 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 is 60, times 2 is 120, times 1 is 120. Okay? But we don't even get to the times 1. We don't need it. You could say greater than or equal to 1, or you could say n greater than 0. Okay? But I'm not going to multiply by 1 because it doesn't change anything. Okay? So let's just make sure I didn't make any mistakes here. And right click, run in CMD. And let's see here, Python lesson 7.py, and we get 5 factorial is 120. Of course, this is a very boring program. You should, of course, ask the user for an input, convert it to integer, and run it. Okay? So, that is an example of the while loop. Okay. Let's go back here. There we go. To the try and except. Now, you start off with your try. This is where you're going to try to do something that might give an error. For example, you ask somebody to enter an integer. Well, somebody might type in 3.6. Well, give that as an error. Or you ask them for an integer and they type in their name. You know, some people just can't read. Okay. And then do some other things, do some more things, etc. Okay? If you want. And then you have your except. This is where you do something to say you had an error, or perhaps you want to do something else. Don't even say you had an error. Okay? You just say, okay, I'm quitting. I'm going to sleep. Goodbye. Whatever. Okay? So, let's try that with this program. We're going to go ahead, let's just leave that one alone. We're going to ask the user for an integer. Okay? So try num equals int input, enter in integer, put a space there, make it look nice and neat. Okay. And then if it didn't give us an integer, we're going to say except print you did not give us an integer. Okay. Now save it and run. Enter an integer. 5. Okay, that worked fine. Now how about 5.5? You did not give us an integer. Okay, well, that's fine and dandy, except it's rather boring to have to keep running the program over and over again. So we're going to combine the while loop with the try and except. So what we want to do is we want some condition with the while loop so that it will keep asking until they give us an integer. Okay? So what can we do? Well, we can assume first off that it hasn't been done. So let's say done is equal to 0. Done equals 0. Okay? And then we're going to do while done equals 0. Remember, we cannot say while done equals 0, okay? Because equals is the assignment statement. This says, is it equal? Okay? We have to put a colon here. Now we need to indent all of this stuff. Okay? I don't know if this is going to work, but anyway, let's try this tab. Ah, it did work. Okay. I'm not an expert on typing. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to try something. Okay? But before we try, we're going to cross our fingers and say done is 1. Okay? We say we are going to be optimistic. So we're going to immediately say done is 1. Hey, we're done. And then here in the except blocks, we're going to say, ha, you are wrong. Done equals 0. Okay? So here is where we're going to say, hey, we're done. Okay? And then, whoops, here we're going to say, nope, not done. Okay? We could probably also, I'm going to let you test that for yourself. Can we put the done equals 1 in here? If yes, would it go before the num equals or after the num equals? I want you to test it. Okay? And so, this is all that needs to be done. And now it will keep asking us over and over until we enter an integer. So let's give it a try. 2.5. Nope. A. Nope. 2a. Nope. Okay. -5. Yes. Okay. So this is a way for you to ask the user for some input and then keep asking them over and over, hey, what you gave us doesn't work. Okay. Now, I'm not going to show you a solution, but what would you do if you wanted to say enter an integer or Q to quit? Okay. So how would you do that one? Okay. Give it some code. Give it some thought. Okay. I'm not going to show you the solution on that one. If you have trouble, post a note on the YouTube channel and I'll give you some hints. Okay. But anyway, give that a try. All right. Okay. Let's see. Anything else on the agenda for this class? Nope. Okay. Now I did give you some nice homework. Yes, it's nice. I think it's fun. Okay. But I want to get, just in case some of you don't have a great math background, I hope you do, follow in my footsteps. I loved math. Okay. But one of the homework assignments I gave you was using a grid. think of your XY coordinate system. You know, in the middle is 0, 0. Okay? And to the right is 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0. And then above it, you'll have 1, 1, you know, 1, 2, 1, 3, etc. And then to the left, you'll have like -1, -2, etc. Okay? Well, north, west, east, south. North would mean that your y value is getting larger. So y equals y plus 1 to go north 1 spot. Okay? If you want to go to the right, well, x equals x plus 1. Okay? If you want to go south, well, your y value has to get smaller and smaller. Y equals y minus 1. And then if you want to go west, well, then your x coordinate has to go -1. So x equals x minus 1. Okay? So use that information to do one of your homework assignments. Okay? Let's see. Anything else that's going to cause you a problem? Yes. Your last assignment problem was one of the problems that I had to do when I did my first state national programming contest, which I think I was 14, maybe 15. I can't remember how old I was. That's back when the dinosaurs were still around. But anyway, well, take a look what the problem is. But this is going to test your memory or how well you learned about your printing statements. Okay? Let's give you I'll go ahead and give you a small hint. Remember that, here, I'll go ahead and show the code. Let's see here. Print 5 times A. Do you know what that does? Okay. Well, let's see what happens. In case you forgot. Integer 1. Yes. 5 A's. Okay. That is going to be a hint for your problems. Okay, the last 2 problems. Okay, it's probably too big of a hint. I probably shouldn't have said that. Oh well. Forget what you just saw. Okay. Your next video is going to be some more of these type problems. It's important that, you know, even though you wouldn't see these, you know, in your everyday programming life when you work for a boss, but what these do is get you thinking outside of the box. Sometimes you'll be given a hard problem to do. And as long as you can start thinking outside the box, you'll be able to solve any problem they throw at you. Okay? So even though these are not realistic work type problems, it is very good to learn. Okay? Help improve your logic, and especially if you're in school, it could help you with your future work. When you start thinking outside the box, it will help your math a lot more, because remember, math and computers are tied together. So if you can do very well here, your math is going to improve. Okay? All right. So make sure you understand the while loop. It's very important. Okay? And of course, the try and except. Okay? Later on, we'll give different types of excepts. For example, you might want to say an exception was, oh, you gave me a float, I wanted an integer. Oh, you gave me a string, I wanted an integer. Okay? So there are more specific except errors, but for right now, this is just a generic one. It says any error whatsoever, go here. Okay? So for right now, we don't care whether you typed in a string or a float. All we cared about is that you didn't type in an integer. Okay? All right. All right. Enjoy your homework. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.